We created this part of the website to talk about what you can expect from us. Also, there's a few things that we need from you to help your job go smoother, so I want to go into more detail about how to lay out your solar system before we arrive. Alright, so whenever we show up, it would be absolutely wonderful if you can go ahead and have the piles laid out and the string lines up, but let's just discuss that. Let's just say this is our job site, and we've got our solar system that we're going to be putting in this linear plane. Let's just say this is west and this is east. We need a string line that's on the west to east plane of where you're setting your posts. So go ahead and get that string line up about a foot off the ground. Depending on how tall the grass is, that could actually help if it's not being affected by the grass, and if it's a really long stretch, let's get it really tight so the wind doesn't move the string line. But let's get that up, and depending on your product that you're using, Schledder is typically 10-foot spacing, but I don't know what your product is. Let's just assume it's a Schledder site, and we've got a 60-foot length total for your array, so we typically come in about 4 feet for our first post and 4 feet for our next post, and then we space it about every 10 feet in between that. So what would be great is if you go ahead and put a flag or a stake or something just to represent where that's going to go. And with Schledder, it doesn't matter if you're 2 inches this way or 2 inches this way. It really doesn't have to be that pristine perfect, but we always try to. We achieve that. You can use spray paint even if you want to mark the ground with that. So that gets us to where we're ready to drive piles. Now, we're going to bring our machine in, and this is the north side and this is the south side. Our machine actually operates better whenever it's on the north side, and I could explain to you why, but it might take a little longer than this video. So if we can be on the north side, and you can literally lay out your piles on the ground, where we can literally just flip them up, lean them up, drive them in, lean them up, drive them in, then that's going to be a smooth operation. Some sites, you're going to have really uneven ground and terrain, and depending on how far our stretch is, if the site's doing you've got some really big sites, we might have to actually follow that terrain, so we're going lower. If it's a smaller distance, say it's 60 feet, we typically try to keep smaller 10 kW systems level with, we have a field laser that we use. But if the linear drop for that is more than 3 feet typically, and you've got to have a certain embedment depth, which you will know based on your product and what you're using in your site conditions, we might not want to keep it level, which at that point we drive the first post, drive the second post, pull a string line, and that'll allow us to drive each post level with each other, so it's actually level with the earth. But when we arrive on the job site, this is really kind of what we're wanting to see whenever we show up. If not, we can give you advice and whatnot, but this is the smoothest way to roll up, knock it out, and leave.